In today's news on the international scene, Baroness Sugg resigns and the COVID-19 legislations passed in the House of Assembly today for incoming residents.
Locally, Honorable Castro leads a delegation to Ministerial Conference and National Behavioural Campaign reaches over 200,000 participants, and the city manager of the territory, Janice Brathwaite-Edwards, joins us live in studio to discuss the upcoming Christmas in the city. All this and more when 284 News returns.
Is time.
284 News
coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin', what's really good, what's happening, what's up?
Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. We are coming to you live and direct from Tortola in our British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant.
And my name is Javon Wilson, here with your midweek review of local, regional, as well as your international content. Now, just today, viewers, members of the House of Assembly met to solidify legislation that will support the COVID-19 protocols for our incoming tourists as well as our residents. Now, as we know, many persons were opposed, Ron, to these very stringent measures implemented. However, the Minister for Education and Culture, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, during his contribution today, sought to explain not only the reasoning behind it, but also making a very passionate plea to all of the BVI to unify in our stance against fighting COVID-19. Listen in.
Many persons did not understand, Mr. Speaker, and perhaps we did not do a good job of explaining it to persons. This thing called an incubation period for the virus. Most persons would think if you come with a negative PCR test, what more do you need? You arrive with a negative PCR, you should be able to arrive at our port of entry and go about your business. Many persons didn't understand that. Maybe some persons understood and was promoting misinformation, or they were promoting the angst among the community for their own selfish benefit. And I'm sorry to say that. There are persons in our community who was exploiting this whole issue. Exploiting it because they see opportunities politically. I'm sorry to say it. And I'm sorry that this is the case. There might be some persons out there in the community who might actually feel bad if it goes well. Just because. Sad to say, it'll make the government look bad. We have to get beyond that with COVID-19. I spoke about this already. Now is the time for unity, for coming together. Like in certain countries when they're at war, they say when you're at war, we don't have opposition or government. Everybody has to come together because we're fighting for the good of the nation. But unfortunately, we have persons out there. Look at them. They don't care about the community. They don't want your business to thrive. They want to see you fail.
Ron, that was Honorable Natalio Wheatley really speaking to the need for us to come together as a territory.
Absolutely.
And really highlighting some of the issues of divisiveness that we've seen. And I think really calling for persons to hold hands in this process together. Now on the international scene, breaking news, viewers, coming out of the United Kingdom, Our Foreign Minister Baroness Sugg has resigned in protest at the cut in overseas aid announced by Chancellor Rishi Sunak, branding it as fundamentally wrong. Now, in her resignation letter to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, Baroness Sugg said it has been a privilege to work as Minister for Sustainable Development, but also said that, quote, she did not believe we should reduce our support further at a time of unprecedented crisis. Her resignation came after Britain said it will slash its foreign budget below the UN target of 0.7%, which is, of course, of the gross national income, Ron, for the first time in years, down to 0.5%, which is just about $4 billion in savings. Ron, I think we see the economic fallout, not only that across the world, but we also see where geopolitics is playing around right now. And also, we do know that she had responsibility for the British overseas territory. So definitely this reduction might affect us here in the British Virgin Islands.
In addition to that, Jovan, in addition to this being very tough news for many persons, we've seen where Baroness Sugg has really defended and stood her ground in a number of different issues, and I know that she would be a force that will absolutely be missed.
Absolutely.
Yes. Continuing on the summary scene, West End women who are in prison or facing prison time, their attorneys are saying the time in prison could worsen their health condition. Of course, decomposed body found has been identified as Mr. Franklin Malone, aka Body. These are some of the headlines that we're covering.
All right, viewers, we're going to head straight into our newscast for today. Now, with our borders set to reopen in a short 5 days, welcoming tourists from all across the world, the government of the Virgin Islands has committed to a few projects to limit the spread of COVID-19. Now, speaking to these projects was the Minister of Health, Honorable Carvin Malone, at the contract signing ceremony. Listen in.
In addition to the accomplishments, the British Virgin Islands Health Services Authority has initiated the following projects in keeping with a continued response and preparedness. Construction of the new Rotown Community Clinic, building an expanded isolation ward in the Major Peebles wing of the hospital, expansion of the laboratory into the old emergency space of the annex, to be able to provide even more extensive laboratory services. It is important to note that even in the midst of this, the organization has been able to continue its normal operation with only minor interruptions to services and also achieve the internationally recognized DMV GL accreditation status. It is a major accomplishment. While doing this, we have had two major pieces of legislation passed to date. We have the Medical Act, which was of actually 2020, and the Nurses and Midwives Act, which yesterday was actually gazetted, so it now becomes law. So in our quest to be the most efficient healthcare service in the region, we would like to say congratulations to acting CEO Pat Nolan-Smith, and of course, Dr. Georges has been here in this particular process, or actual CEO.
Now, Honorable Carvin Malone also mentioned that he took contractors to complete the budgets according to budget and in a timely manner. They were present, and those companies are the Caribbean Environmental Restoration Company for the renovation of the People's Hospital Laboratory Annex for a value of $682,387.99, and to Metro Construction Limited as well for $947,267.48 for the renovation of the second floor of the Old People's Hospital for the outpatient clinic. Honorable Malone said that the goal is to have a world-class primary as well as secondary delivery of services here in the Virgin Islands. Now, Ron, of course, this just adds to the list of milestones as it relates to accomplishments under the BVI Health Services Authority umbrella since the onset of the novel coronavirus. The goal was always to increase capacity, especially now that we are reopening to welcome visitors and residents into the territory. And I think collectively we cannot deny, while that came at an expense, of course, how we dealt with the health aspect of this pandemic. we cannot deny the steps, the strategic steps we've taken to reduce the spread of COVID-19.
Most definitely, and the timing is, it could not be better. I think it's important that as we progress, we continue to seek ways, as you said, to not only build capacity, but make sure that we're providing world-class health services. Continuing on the local scene here in the territory of the Virgin Islands, and a government information services release, it was announced that Junior Minister for Tourism, the Honorable Cherie B. de Castro, is leading a delegation at the 7th Ministerial Conference on the Information Society in Latin America and the Caribbean from November 23rd to 26th. Honorable de Castro is leading the delegation to the 3-day virtual conference on behalf of Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew A. Foy. Now, in his address at yesterday's Honorable de Castro explained that in March of 2020, when the territory confirmed the first case of COVID-19, the government had to develop an immediate response to prevent community spread. She said a further consideration was given to the economic impact of the measures taken to prevent the disease from spreading. Now, the junior minister said that it became evident that a post-COVID-19 environment would be necessary. The digital transformation, specifically of government and the territory, a top priority for the government's agenda. She said, and I quote, "For the Virgin Islands, we recognize that digital transformation must go further than e-services. It must enable the collection of relevant and timely data that can be used for management and policy decisions. It must be people-centered in order to genuinely impact the lives of the people of the Virgin Islands for the better." Now, she continued by saying, therefore, the transition into a e-government will be accelerated so that we can enhance the services available online, e-billing, online payment, and online bookings, and e-commerce. Now, the junior minister said looking at a digital transformation of government means going beyond the initial work undertaken to consolidate public-facing websites and developing some online service delivery. She said for the Virgin Islands, it means focusing on enabling automation of our operations, yielding operational efficiencies such as reduction of transaction costs with an impact on productivity, enhancing the delivery of public services and the experience by ensuring they are customer-focused, improving the way of our citizens, residents, businesses, and tourists interact with the government and access the information, whilst promoting transparency, of course, accountability, and giving our people a voice. And not only that, impacting human relationships and behavior by facilitating social inclusion and communication, in addition to ensuring the digital space is accessible, safe, and secure for everyone. Honorable de Castro said the areas of focus will be to support the territory's economic and social development, even in the absence of the National Sustainable Development Plan, which is a huge topic of discussion, Jovan. But in the interim, which is currently being developed under the leadership of Premier's office, she said as the government of the Virgin Islands continues to move forward in this new regular living and working with COVID-19, its vision is to transform the territory into a leading regional economy of innovation. This is from the Junior Minister of Trade, who will be representing the territory in the upcoming ministerial conference across the region. These conferences are important, and I look forward to hearing the response from the Honorable Minister as she and a number of other delegates, including the Director of Communications. We have Ms. Lynette George, some other persons from the department as well, Mrs. Annabelle Skelton, Director of Communications, and some other persons, key persons who are going to represent the territory. So we wish them all the best in this virtual meeting. And
we do know for sure that we'll be well represented.
Yes.
Viewers, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're actually speaking to the City Manager, Ms. Janice Brathwaite-Edwards, who's joining us live in studio to discuss the upcoming Christmas in the city. All that and so much more when 284 News returns.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget you.
How may I assist you? Yes. You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Hello viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News. As promised, we are joined by Mrs. Janice Brathwaite-Edwards. She is the city manager of the territory of the Virgin Islands, but most importantly, she is a volunteer for the Christmas in the City Committee. Mrs. Brathwaite-Edwards, thank you so much for your time and welcome to 284 News.
You're welcome.
You're most welcome. We are approaching the Christmas season, and as you know, it's not Christmas in the Virgin Islands if we don't have, whether it's Christmas on Castro Street, Christmas on Main Street, and now Christmas in the city. We're approaching that time, and of course, over the years, the name has changed because of the location. Tell us about what we can expect this year.
Well, this year, Christmas is in the city, and quite fitting for us because we have now done the traffic turnaround, causing us not to be able to have Christmas on Castro Street because it would be impossible to close down that entire street as the traffic flowing out of Road Town to the west uses Castro Street. So we were forced to move it to another location, and the Minister of Transportation Works and Utilities gladly afforded us the opportunity to use not only one but the 2 parking lots in the Central Administration Complex.
Wonderful. So this year is going to be on the Ralph O'Neill Administration Drive, am I correct?
That's correct.
Wonderful. Now, over the years, these events have really served as a very important part of our culture in the Virgin Islands. Can you speak to the cultural relevance that such events like Christmas in the City has on the Virgin Islands?
Well, Christmas in the City brings out a number of vendors who do a number of cultural activities in the British Virgin Islands, causing us to have a cultural potpourri at this event. This event seems to be a lot bigger than it has been in the past because we have a lot more space. We've dealt with environmental health as it relates to social distances, and we do have enough space out there to do what we're going to do. There are a number of activities that will be happening in Christmas in the City 2020, and we are looking forward to having an enjoyable time. Cultural-wise, we have different aspects of the culture that will be showcasing itself. Battle of the Serenaders. We're going to encourage the Basketball Association to come out. We're going to encourage the corporate side of the British Virgin Islands community to come out and join with us and celebrate Christmas in a very, very different way.
One of the things I find very spectacular about this year's events is usually it would be a Friday and Saturday event. However, this year's events trickles over into the Sunday. First of all, tell us the exact dates for Christmas in the City and walk us through Friday through Sunday.
The exact dates for Christmas in the City 2020 are December 4th, 5th, and 6th. Reason being, Christmas in the City is usually held on the first official weekend in December. So if November 30th falls on the Friday and December 1st is Saturday, then it would be that weekend. So it has moved itself down a little bit because November ends on a Monday, and so the first official weekend in December is the weekend where we bounce off Christmas. It's usually after the lighting of the Christmas tree by the Lions Club, and they are going to do theirs on the weekend of the 29th of November.
Okay. So we have Friday event, Saturday event, and then tell us about Sunday, because we've never experienced a Sunday as yet. So tell us about that.
This year we're into experimenting, and so this year we've decided that we're going to use the Sunday. And the Sunday we are going to do something a little different, a little outside of our normal culture, but it's something that is growing into the culture slowly. And we're going to ask people to come out, brunch with us, and paint and sip with us on Sunday. Wow. And we begin at 11 and we finish at 8 in the evening. And at the end of the evening, we'll have a biodegradable balloon release in memory of Honorable Dolores Christopher, who was the co-chair along with myself.
I'm so happy that you mentioned the late Honorable Dolores Christopher, who was not only the co-chair along with yourself, but someone who really pushed and rallied for Virgin Islands culture and heritage. There are a lot of exciting things, new things that are coming on board. You mentioned about the Basketball Association and getting them on board. You mentioned about the Sip and Paint, but we're also going to have something very interesting, the Battle of the Serenaders. Tell me about that.
Yes, this year we're going to reintegrate the Battle of the Serenaders, and that's any group that would come out and sing. And the song that we're going to be using this year is Ho Ho Ho, and you can put whatever twist you want to put on it. And I'm sure that you've seen that it has gone even COVID-wise. So that group is also coming out to showcase with us. And then you have the opportunity to do another traditional Christmas song that you make and turn into what you would like it to do. Unfortunately, fortunately for us this year, it's not going to be judged with the judges. Okay. It's going to be crowd appeal. And the prize for this Christmas serenading would be $500.
Amazing. Now, you mentioned about businesses and, of course, COVID. The business community has been largely hit by COVID and the effects of it economically. Can you speak to the business community, the persons who would have supported Christmas in the city years gone by, and for those who might be a little bit apprehensive because of the difficult times, speak to the importance, Mrs. Edwards, on the business community and the support they would receive from the general public?
Well, Christmas in the city this year, we've taken on a whole new different perspective, and we feel that the corporate community needs to come out. There are a lot of things that are happening in the corporate world that the people on the ground have no idea what is going on. And COVID has not made it any easier for the business community. So we're encouraging the business community to come out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and show off your wares, show off the products and services that you sell or you offer. One of the people that approached us first as we put this out was Caribbean Sellers. And what Caribbean Sellers is going to do as one of our sponsors is they are going to sell whatever Christmas local drinks that they have and blend them with the spirits that they also have. So come out, taste, and then head to Caribbean Sellers to purchase your drinks.
I can tell you
So the business community should participate. It's one big opportunity for the first time ever in our 22 years of doing Christmas in the city. The business community is invited to attend with us.
I can tell you now, I can taste the guava berry with a hint of whatever Caribbean Sellers is affording us to add to that. So I'm happy to hear that you brought that up. Right. I want to talk about a parade, a very exciting parade that's going to be coming on board for this weekend of events, a very unconventional parade. Can you speak to what that's about?
Well, Christmas in the British Virgin Islands is traditional, and I know that in years gone by, the community of Longbush usually had a Christmas Day parade. And with all that's going on, it seems as though that is no longer possible. So what we've done is we've become a little bit more creative, and we asked people in the community to come out. Come out with your baby stroller lit up. Come up with your soapbox lit up. Come up with your bicycle lit up. Come up with your motorcycle lit up. Come up with your boat. Pull it on a harness, lit up, and let's have a parade. We're going to parade around the Central Administration Complex, and I think it's going to be an exciting time because the guys on the motorcycles already say, boy, I have already bought my lights, you know, and I think it's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be something that's different. It's going to be Christmas in the city like we've never seen before in 2020.
Mrs. Edwards, before you go, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you yourself along with your committee. I understand you have a new committee. I don't know if you want to speak to that, but I just want to reiterate how grateful we are here in the BVI for yourself and your committee putting on such an event that family, friends, kids, everyone of all ages can look forward to as we introduce the Christmas spirit and season to the BVI. It's something that we look forward to, and I want to thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. And yes, we do have a new committee. And just so people understand who are the members of the committee, they are Dirk Walters, Ramon George, Kadir Turnbull, Lynette George, Andrea Gums, and yours truly, Janice Brathwaite-Edwards.
Amazing. Viewers, before we head out, we want to introduce you to a video that just really exemplifies what we can expect and reiterate what we can expect for this Christmas in the city. Take a look.
Christmas in the City presents Battle of the Serenaders on Saturday, 5th December 2020. Sign up at 284-544-0544 to enter your group for a chance to win $500. Each group will be required to sing Ho 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 with your own creative twist and one other Christmas song. So sign up for your chance to win $500 at the Battle of the Serenaders. It's Christmas in the City.
This year, I'm having a little bit of sleepless nights because I have a feeling that because there's not much happening in the community at this time, that we're going to probably be bombarded with people for Christmas in the City. We use the opportunity while we do Christmas in the City to do some community service. Okay. And right now we have over 30 children who want to come out to do community service. We've put a program in place so that we can make sure that they are doing community service and It's just not a hangout. But students coming out, vendors coming out, it seems as though it's going to be a big thing. Everybody's looking forward to it. We have people on the street who are saying, make sure you have X at Christmas in the City this year because that's what I am coming for. So it's going to be an exciting time. I'm excited about it. And I'm excited that we're doing it with a little difference in 2020.
I can totally understand and relate. Viewers, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with more news. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Hello viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, over the past weekend, Dole, a major brand in providing lettuce, of course, announced a recall on its romaine lettuce due to the potential E. coli contamination. If you're feeling a little bit deja vu, well, you're not alone, viewers. This news comes a little less than 2 weeks after a similar romaine lettuce recall involving the same E. coli. Now, the company issued a voluntary recall on 2 romaine lettuce products, that is Dole Organic Romaine Hearts, the 3-pack, after a random sample tested by the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development found E. coli on the produce. Now, the recalled produce affects stores in 15 states, that is in Arizona, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, North Dakota, as well as Virginia. Now, because the harvested dates are between October 23rd to the 26th, it's very unlikely that any of affected products is still on the grocery store shelves. But to be sure, you are now encouraged to check your produce, of course, to make sure that you are not affected by this. Now, according to Dole's recall announcement, there haven't been any illnesses related to the recall, and this recall is not necessarily associated with the strains connected to the ongoing outbreaks currently under regulatory investigations. Now, most types of E. coli don't cause illnesses, but this recall specifically involves a non-0157 E. coli, which refers to a group of E. coli strains that are less commonly identified as the sources of an outbreak than the E. coli 0157. Now, an infection with this type of E. coli may cause symptoms such as stomach cramps, vomiting, diarrhea, and so on, as well as our vulnerable groups, including the elderly and young children, may experience more severe symptoms. So it's very important that you continue to monitor and examine yourself. Now, if you are feeling like, you may be infected, it's very important that you contact the next health department, the closest health department, that is. Now, Ron, of course, they have had, as it relates to lettuce, a high reputation in contaminations. And we do know that we import a lot of our products from the United States. So it's very important that we take this into consideration as well.
Most definitely, we encourage persons to make sure that if they're feeling ill again, contact your nearest healthcare provider.
All right, viewers, we're going to wrap up right now. We're out of time, but you can catch us on 284media.com for lots more information, local, regional, and international content. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. Do have a happy rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.